What's up, gamers? We are back again and again and again every week. Yep. We're coming back to talk and chat about what's going on in the gaming world. So let's jump right into it. Something interesting I just read about that was pretty cool. You know I'm a big Hearthstone fan.
Yep.
Some days, except for the days when I rage quit and throw it out, throw my phone and say, I'm never playing
deal
this
3
again.
damage to 3 random things, and then it's just like, I'll deal damage all to that 4 toughness thing.
Yeah. Anyway, this guy, he's a streamer. His name is Disguised Toast, so go check him out. What he did, he started a brand new account and got from 0 to legend rank in 3 weeks.
Nice.
Without spending a dime and without dusting any cards. So they've done this, like people have done it in the past where they've gone nothing to legend. But they're usually like playing in, he also played no arena leagues either. Okay. So he didn't get any like special cards or anything from there. It was just straight playing and grinding it out and using gold to obviously buy more packs and stuff. So as a player who doesn't spend any money in Hearthstone, I thought that was really cool. Yeah. That's actually doable because I've never even seen close to legend. So I think the highest I've gotten is like 9.
Has he played previously?
Yeah, I think he's a Hearthstone player. Okay. So he played a mid-range hunter deck, which, you know, aggro hunter is just stupid anyways. So it's a cheap deck, obviously. I didn't look at the exact deck list. I don't know if he got any legendaries or anything. Usually mid-range hunter doesn't use too much, though. It really relies on like that big Savannah Highmore, which is like the 6 damage, and when it dies, it creates 2 2/2s. So I think that's what he did, and he went all the way from nothing to legend.
There you go.
So,
living the dream.
Yeah, I've always had a love-hate relationship with Hearthstone, but the last few days I've just been really salty about it. Today I actually turned around a little bit. I started playing. I was like, screw it. I started playing my Pirate Warrior again, and it, tried and true.
There you go.
And it's been doing better, but man, it's been
slow
making
going.
me angry lately. It feels like, and I don't know, it feels like Blizzard's matchmaking is screwed up in the game. Because like the meta has been really aggro heavy like the last week, and so I was like, okay, cool, I'm gonna build an aggro killing priest. Yeah. And so I did, and it worked awesome for a little while. And then all of a sudden I started getting matched up with everything that beat me, just over and over and over again. I just kept getting, other priests. I'd get like 3 priests in a row, and they just destroy me. And then I'd get like 2 mages, and then I'd get like 1 aggro deck. And then I'd go and switch back, and I'd get more mages and more priests, and more. It was just more control decks, which just destroyed my control deck. So it was just ridiculous. So I was like, screw this. The meta must be changing again. So I switched to my Druid, which is just like a ramp deck, basically. And all of a sudden, the meta switched on me. Like, then I was just getting aggro decks. Yeah. Like, over and over and over again. I was like, what is going on with this? So, I don't know. I feel like I need to do a study. I need to, just quit out of games. Just, play 30 with one archetype and just take down what they match me against, and then play, 30 games with, another, and just compare it just to...
There should be
what's going on.
Isn't there anything online
right?
that
I'm sure someone else has already.
Because you look at that information is everywhere in the world of Magic. Yeah. Where it's just here are the top MTG top 8, MTG Goldfish.
But that's physical play. Right. So this is online, and I feel like it's the matchmaking that is
What I'm saying is
they
should be able to figure out what percentage of the meta everything is. Yeah. Based on the last.
Oh yeah, no, you can definitely look at the overarching meta, but I just feel like within the meta, there's some kind of fixing they're trying to do there. I don't know. Maybe it's just me being salty at the game the last few days. I was just having a few bad runs, but I was angry. But my Pirate Warrior is kicking some butt now, so I'm back up to 16. So
sure enough,
I'm gonna try to break 10 this month. We'll see if we can do it. But that's my story from Hearthstone. So what do you got? You got anything?
So the biggest news in the world of board games is Asmodee North America, which Asmodee is probably the biggest board game company in the world. They have decided to sign an exclusive deal through Alliance Game Distributors. Alliance is also probably the biggest distributor in North America. Yep. Which Up until now, so for a very long time, Alliance had kind of a stranglehold on a lot of the really good properties. Like, they had Mayfair, so they had Catan was exclusive to them.
I think it still is, because we can't get Catan.
Mayfair is still exclusive, but Asmodee now owns Catan, but Asmodee is going back to Alliance. So, just to get, like, a couple years ago, basically, like, Alliance had WizKids, they had Cryptozoic, they had, Mayfair, they had all these, like, really big heavy hitters, and then probably, I think it was, like, January 1st, 2016, all of that stuff expired. And so it was kind of like, you could trade with whoever you wanted to, you could get board games from whoever you wanted, and really the only thing Alliance had that was exclusive to it was WizKids, right? So now, Alliance has Asmodee, right? Which is, they have Fantasy Flight, they've got Z-Man Games, which does Pandemic, they have Plaid Hat, who does Dead of Winter.
Do they own the guys that put out Dragon Shields? I thought I remember...
They might.
I had to sign something with Asmodee to get more Dragon Shields at one point, which would really suck.
Yeah.
We're going to have to get an account with
So,
Alliance, I guess.
So that's like kind of the big news of the week is just kind of the fallout from that and people trying to restructure. I believe that deal goes live August 1st.
Yeah, so I got an email from our distributor saying that this had happened, and I was like, oh, great. Because we have a lot of Asmodee games and stuff, and they make some good stuff. So it was kind of a bummer. But they did say that for the next couple months, as long as the contracts are still, they'll be aggressively pushing it. So we'll still be able to get it for a little while, and we got a little bit of time to figure it out. But I don't know why would they do that? I mean, why do you think?
I think that
what's the reasoning behind that?
I don't know. I mean, like, I'm not a business person. I would assume that money is probably involved at some point.
Yeah.
Kind of like what happened with Madden in the NFL.
They probably get more. From Alliance for each game. Yeah. If they give them an exclusive, know, so they probably are making a little bit more money per game, but it makes it a little more difficult for all of us in the retail aspect of the world. Kind of forces our hand a little bit, which I don't know. Free market and all. Yay.
The other some other big news came out of ACD, which is probably the second biggest distributor in North America. They had their ACD Games Day, which was kind of like, you could go there, test out some new stuff. So there's some new games like Happy Salmon. The big one is there's a D&D deck builder that's coming from Catalyst Games. So Dungeons & Dragons obviously is a huge title. Pathfinder, which is kind of like it's another RPG similar to D&D. Pathfinder has had a deck building game for 3 or 4 years. It's hugely successful, really, really popular. So I think if the D&D deck building game is going to be anything like that, I think it's going to be really, really cool. So I'm looking forward to that. Also, the Upper Deck announced that they are re-releasing or basically reprinting the Fantastic Four expansion for Marvel Legendary.
Oh, okay.
They were unable to produce it is
there licensing issues or something?
Yes. So they produced it in 2013. They did one print run of it, and then they could no longer print it anymore.
Interesting.
Because of licensing issues.
Because who owns the license for that?
So
who does the movies? They probably don't own the board. Well, maybe they do own the board game.
I think it went back.
Game licenses.
So they, I know they had a deal worked out with Fox for Alien and Predator and things like that, and then I'm assuming they had some kind of deal with Disney for.
Did Disney do the last Fantastic
Four
garbage? I didn't think so.
And that was like they've never really said what the issue was, but the rumors and out there were that basically because Disney was basically like, we want the Fantastic Four back, and Fox is like, no, we're thinking about making a movie. And then Disney's like, cool, we'll just kill off all the characters and make They're like, we'll kill off all the characters, we'll make the franchise worth nothing, and then when your movie bombs, we're just going to buy it back from you. They're like, we're going to get back from you for $0.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming Disney put some amount of pressure on Upper Deck.
The strong hand
yeah,
of
exactly.
Disney.
Again, this is all rumors. I haven't.
No,
I don't know anything
for
about
sure.
that. But I would imagine something.
We have no comment from Disney.
Yeah, something along those lines. So that's going to be back though. So
that's cool.
You're going to get to play as the Fantastic Four. I believe Silver Surfer was in there. Galactus was in there, which Galactus was a pain in the butt to have to fight against.
Very cool. Awesome.
Also, Magic Maze, which is nominated for a Spiel des Jahres, which is basically the Germany's board game of the year. Mm-hmm. Magic Maze is finally getting an English release.
Oh, cool.
So they're porting it over, so you should be on the lookout for that.
Neat. Very cool. Some other cool stuff happening in the world of video games. Steam, a few months ago, announced that they were doing away with Steam Greenlight.
Okay.
And they introduced a new thing called Steam Direct. Today, or maybe it was yesterday, they announced the price point of that. So basically, if you're not familiar, Steam Greenlight was a way for developers to smaller developers to get their stuff onto Steam. Mm-hmm. Steam would, you'd basically vote on, I think it was a voting thing, where they'd put up a bunch of different games, and then the community would vote on it, and they'd greenlight one of them, basically, and give them access, publish them on Steam. They're going to a new model, where basically all you got to do, they put a price point on it, it's going to be $100, and all you got to do is pay that $100, and your game gets put onto Steam.
Nice.
It's nice, but I'm afraid it's going to just create a whole bunch of garbage on Steam. Because when they originally announced it, they had said, we're thinking like $250, $500 to kind of combat that level of, there's just every Tom, Dick, and Harry can go with $100 to put their garbage game on somewhere.
For sure.
So they backed it down to only $100, and I think that, I don't know, it's not like it's only $25, that would really be bad, or free, anyone could throw it up there, but $100 I feel like is a little cheap. I don't know, I'm just afraid it'll flood their marketplace with, a whole lot of garbage, but I guess we'll see.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's
definitely cool for developers.
I think it's good, I think it's
make
good
stuff, for sure. So,
I think, like you said, I think it's good just to be able to get your foot in the door that way. And I mean, I'm sure it'll. I mean, like if you look at like Kickstarter, like half the stuff on Kickstarter is just like garbage anyway.
Right. Yeah.
So,
but that's if it's garbage, it doesn't get funded and it doesn't get made.
Right.
So I don't know. This is just anyone in their garage could develop a garbage game and put it out. But I guess they're also saying that they're going to work on some new search algorithms, basically a little more like Netflix.
Okay.
Like, oh, you like this game, so you might like these, which would definitely help filter out the garbage too, I guess. So I think Steam hasn't really done anything wrong in a long time, so I think we give them the benefit of the doubt on that one.
For sure.
And see where it goes. Could be cool. Have a whole lot of new games coming through, I'm sure. For only $100, there'll be a lot of smaller developers out there making some cool stuff. So
for sure,
stay tuned for that. They're saying, when did they say it was going to happen? I think it was later this year. Or maybe it was pretty soon. I think earlier they were saying later this year, and now they're saying it could be any day. They haven't set an exact date on it. Cool. But speaking of Kickstarter and stuff, Friday the 13th game came out earlier this week, and it looks awesome, but they had some major launch issues.
Like matchmaking and things like that.
Yeah, just people couldn't get a game for 3 or 4 days straight. They were just having issues where they just couldn't get a game at all. I guess they fixed it on Steam and PlayStation, where the updates could get pushed through a lot quicker, but Xbox is still having some issues, I guess.
Okay.
But some of the salt online, people are just so mad, and I get that you're angry. You paid for a game, or you helped fund a game on Kickstarter that isn't working for you. But I mean, it was within hours. It's and they were totally transparent about it too. They're like, we know the issue, we're working on it, we swear, we promise. And I know they are, and people are just like, no, you're not, you're a bunch of garbage. I mean, they're just so salty on it online. And I think that's
gamers for you, though.
I guess. It's just stop it. Well, that was weird. Had some technical difficulties there.
Yeah, right.
So we were basically done talking about Friday the 13th, though. So is there anything else you want to mention?
Actually, there's a bunch Magic related. So first off, they announced the pricing for HasCon, which is the Hasbro gaming convention. Hasbro decided they want to do their own thing. So there's going to be like Transformers, My Little Pony.
It's all a
G.I.
Hasbro
Joe.
con.
It is all Hasbro all the time. G.I. Joe. They also have.
Well, they've got enough.
Well, they have. The thing is, they have a deal with Disney, so they also have the Star Wars toys, the Disney Princess toys, all that good stuff.
When and where is this going to be?
So it is in Providence, Rhode Island.
Okay.
Which because that's where they're headquartered.
Okay.
So immediately. The main problem with that is Providence, Rhode Island does not have an airport, from what I've heard. It doesn't have an airport. So if you wanted to...
kind of fly into, like,
some other place,
there, like
yes.
New York isn't
so, like, if you wanted to fly in from the West Coast, it's a $400 round-trip ticket. A single-day general admission is $60.
That's not too bad.
A 3-day is $165. Which Gen Con prices are cheaper than that, and it's a 4-day ticket, and it's the largest board game convention in America.
Sure.
So I have no idea like how they think they can get away
maybe
with
they're
this.
comparing it to like E3, who wants like $300 a
I
ticket
guess.
or something. But
so the other thing is, if you wanted to play in any of the Magic events, which they're having the pre-release for Iconic Masters.
Okay.
Which is going to come out it's going to end up being like 2 or 3 months before it hits the general public.
Yeah.
It's $60 for the pre-release. So if you wanted to go and play in one tournament, it's $60 for general admission and then another $60 just to play. So it's $120 just to play Magic, right?
Wow. Is there like a huge pot? Or?
But there's good news.
Okay.
They decided they're going to have a VIP package, right?
Okay.
So the VIP package comes with 3-day access, which you're like, all right, cool. It's like $165, right?
Yeah.
You can play in up to 2 of the events, which are $60 each.
Sure.
So you're like, all right, sure, that brings you up to about $300, right? You get access to a VIP lounge with unlimited soda and snacks.
Ooh.
And you get 3 promos for Magic the Gathering, which you can't actually play with.
Okay.
They're just
they're special promos.
They're like the Christmas
going to be worth
ones.
like $800 in a few
You would hope. With the way they're pricing it, you would hope so.
Yeah.
I haven't. I'm going to let you try to figure out how much they're charging.
Okay.
And it's basically going to be a crossover between Magic the Gathering and their other properties. So there's going to be like a Transformers and Magic the Gathering card. So how much do you think they're charging for this VIP package?
Based on their outlandish prices for the other stuff, according to you, I'm going to go $1,000.
It's not quite that.
No,
it's $600.
Say that's
which
not
is
that
still
far
so.
off.
Basically, they're saying each of these promos is worth $100.
Yeah,
is what they're saying.
because that's all you're getting extra.
Yes.
Wow.
So needless to say, everybody in the Magic community is just like,
salty.
this is stupid. Why are they doing this? And so Hasbro's retort is, well, we wanted this to be like for families. Right, and the idea is they want you to come with
go to Disney World.
that was the immediate thing. Was there like why would we go to Providence, Rhode Island to play with Disney toys when we could just go to Disney World and see the actual people? So I don't know what they're thinking unless they come out with like something crazy in the next couple days.
Maybe after all the backlash, they'll
they said there's supposed to be like giant versions of like Pie in the Face and like their other board games and things like that.
Giant pie in the body.
They're supposed to be like, I think what they're really leaning on is there's a My Little Pony Equestria. Like the Kingdom of Equestria is supposed to be there.
Okay.
So I'm assuming they're trying to lean really heavily on little girls begging their parents to bring them
to go see My Little Pony.
But it's like,
and all the bronies out there too.
It's just an outrageous amount of money for an unproven convention out in the middle of nowhere. That
Hey, Providence is the capital of Rhode Island.
Sure.
Right?
It's the capital.
Do I have my capitals right there? Oh yeah, that's crazy. That does seem a little nuts. I mean, but then you compare it to E3, where what were they wanting for those tickets? It was nuts. It was like a day pass was like over $100, I think.
Yeah. So. But yeah, I mean, like, I think that they must be comparing it to like that because like board game conventions are like
they're
not even near that. Yeah. Like Origins is like a fraction of that cost, and Gen Con is way cheaper.
Sure.
And the thing with Gen Con is it's in a major metropolitan area. It's not like here's out in the middle of nowhere. so like somebody was like totaling it up, and he's like, okay, so he's like, if I wanted to go, it's like it's $400 for a plane ticket. It's like another $165 just for me. Let's say that I decide that I want to do what HasCon is telling me, and I pay like another $160 for my wife, and then I think kids' tickets are only like $75.
Okay.
Which are like, all right, that's a decent deal. He's like, that's, you know, a ton of money. Yeah. That's not even including our hotel, food for 4 people.
At that point, you are over $1,000.
Yeah, and he's like,
easy.
He's like, I would much rather just take them to Disney World.
Yeah.
And that's that's your target audience, is you're trying to get families to go to this.
Yeah.
So there's all that. So now a lot of people, it went from people were really excited to going to now they're just like, I don't even want to bother.
Yeah. Interesting.
And so like one of the reasons why people wanted to go is because, so Wizards is releasing Iconic Masters there, and they said they're not going to put out any spoilers. They're not going to do, you know, anything like that. It's going to be you show up, you sit down, you crack the packs, you don't even know what you're opening.
Wow.
And that's how you're playing, right?
That would be cool. Ish.
And so they're really selling you on this, like, unique game experience where nobody knows what they're opening. Just in the last week, they've had 2 major leaks of things that they're releasing.
Oh, Planeswalkers.
Yes, they've released the Planeswalkers, and then there's also an alleged leak of their Commander decks.
Oh,
because there was the next Commander decks are supposed to be tribal. There's this Twitter account that started posting all these pictures of cards that people think, that at least they say, are going to be in the next Dragons. It's going to be a Dragon tribal deck, and there was like, you know, 6 or 7 new cards plus a whole bunch of reprints. On top of that, on I think this was Wednesday or Thursday, the French Wizards of the Coast site has, like, you can scroll through cards. Someone had accidentally posted pictures of the two planeswalkers from Hour of Devastation plus another rare in their scrolling gallery.
Yeah.
And so people immediately were just like screenshotting.
Oh, sure.
And so like it's not even people from outside the company are doing this. Like your own company is accidentally releasing spoilers.
Stuff. Well, they're just so used to spoiling stuff.
I guess
it's ingrained in them.
And so
what are the planeswalkers?
So there's Nicol Bolas.
Okay.
And then Samut, Samut is the green-red, he's like the Naya commander.
Green-red, yes, that's my alley.
So, Samut is, I don't know their exact stats, I'm just gonna look them up right now, real quick. I know, and then I know the other one that they spoiled was, it was called like, it's a board sweeper, called like Bantu's,
Bantu's something.
Bantu's
Wrath.
Yeah.
Just totally blows up the board.
It does. It's. I believe it's 2 black, 1 colorless. Destroy all creatures.
Oh wow.
Yeah, 2 black, 1 colorless sorcery. It's called Bantu's Last Reckoning.
Okay.
Destroy all creatures. Lands you control don't untap during your next untap step. So Wizards said they're never going to print an unconditional sweeper below 5 mana now. So now this is kind of how they're messing with it.
Sure.
It's an unconditional sweeper, but like, are you really want to do that? So we'll go ahead and do Samut now. So Samut is 2 colorless, red, green. Comes in with 4 loyalty, Planeswalker Samut. Samut the Tested. +1, up to 1 target creature gains double strike until end of turn. -2, Samut the Tested deals 2 damage, divided as you choose among 1 or 2 target creatures and or players. -7, so this is in basically 4 turns after you play it. Search your library for up to 2 creature and or planeswalkers cards. Put them onto the battlefield, then shuffle your library. So his ult isn't just like win the game, which is, you know, most planeswalkers in this day and age are like, you ultimate, you just win the game.
Yeah.
Like, you know, that's an insane amount of value. Getting 2 planeswalkers or 2 creatures in any combination.
Yeah.
So overall, I think it's cool. It's sweet. I don't know that it's going to see a lot of play.
Yeah.
Like, everybody thought Arlencord was going to be really sick. Arlencord ended up not doing anything.
Huge.
Yeah. Like, green-red just isn't really,
I liked her, but she
the Planeswalker colors.
Yeah.
Maybe in, like, a Jund list I could see it. You know. I think it's just that the fact that her, or I believe it's a her. There's also a lot of debate about whether it's Samut is a girl or a male. male or female. I believe she's female though. So the thing with
maybe
is because her +1 requires a creature to really get any kind of value.
Yeah.
You're kind of like, it's very like high risk.
Yeah.
Nicol Bolas on the other hand. So Nicol Bolas, God Pharaoh, red, black, blue, 4 colorless for Planeswalker Bolas. Comes in with 7 loyalty. So as you can see, Nicol Bolas has always been about 7s. He's 7 mana, 7 loyalty. Planeswalker Bolas. +2, target opponent exiles cards from the top of his or her library until he or she exiles a non-land card. Until end of turn, you may cast that card without paying its mana cost. So you get like a free spell just as soon as he hits the board. +1, each opponent exiles 2 cards from his or her hand. -4, Nicol Bolas, God Pharaoh, deal 7 damage to target opponent or creature an opponent controls. -12, exile each non-land permanent your opponent controls.
Interesting.
So, he's pretty cool. I think 7 mana is a little prohibitive, unless you're going to be doing any sort of Aetherwork Marvel shenanigans. In which case, I think, he could easily see, because Ulamog is going to get rotated out in September.
Yeah.
So this may actually take the slot of Ulamog in the, big splashy finisher and Aetherwork Marvel decks. I'm kind of excited just because I love Grixis, so I'm probably going to try to make a deck with this in it. So yeah.
So are those, but those aren't actually, they were leaked, but they were truly leaked. It wasn't official leaked. So are these, did Wizards confirm that they're real yet, is what I'm getting at? Or are they still
I mean, it was on their site.
Okay.
It was on the French Magic the Gathering site.
So it's pretty sure that those are real. But, okay. Has Wizard made a statement about it? I guess that's what I'm asking.
They usually don't.
Okay.
They usually just don't say anything.
Okay. So they could just, at the last minute, go, here, now let's use these Planeswalkers instead or something just to screw
I guess. I mean, they may even be I doubt that it would be the case, but those could even be the Planeswalker intro deck.
Oh, sure.
I mean, they seem pretty good for
those, yeah.
For those, but I could see them.
Nicol Bolas is, 7.
There's gonna be 2, because we're gonna get those 2. Plus, we're going to get, assuming these are the real ones. Well, actually, we can look at the collector number. No. So according to the collector number, these are the actual ones.
Okay.
So there's also going to be feasibly other versions of these that are going to come in the Planeswalker deck.
Well, that's cool. Awesome sauce coming out of the Magic world. But supposedly we're not going to see any other leaks until after the...
For Iconic Masters.
Okay.
They're going to... So Wizards is swearing up and down, they're we're not going to leak anything before Iconic Masters. You're going to sit down. It's going to be 2 months before the thing even comes out.
Mm-hmm.
So, whatever those cards are there, you're going to be the first people to see them, right? At this point, these are leaks that they're not even controlling.
Yeah.
At one point, during Oath of the Gatewatch, there's a whole bunch of cards leaked. I know, I think it was Worldwake, the entire set got leaked. 2 months before the thing
came out. So they have leak issues. They
do, yeah.
Interesting. Well, that's cool.
Yeah, so for some reason, these cards appear in the French version of the Standard Showdowns page. So it was, you could go to the event type, and then go to Standard Showdown, and basically, for whatever reason, they were on the, Standard Showdown page.
Someone screwed up. Or someone in the company did it on purpose for some other reason.
No, I'm sure it was just they drag and drop the wrong GIF file or something like that.
Could be.
Get
control of your files there, Wizards. If you don't want that stuff to leak, right?
Well, Dusk and Dawn got put into, what was it? I think Modern Masters or something.
Yeah.
That was the first Dusk and Dawns. They were Portuguese Dusk and Dawns that were somehow people were opening them in their Modern Master packs. And so they're they didn't know if it was because in the past Wizards has done that where they've put out promo cards.
Yeah.
But it was just really weird that it was only in Portugal
Portuguese
or Brazil or wherever. Yeah.
Interesting. Cool. Anything else from Magic World? That was kind of the big stuff.
Yeah. Not really. I mean, that's kind of it.
Yeah. We're just plugging away through Amonkhet, so waiting for the next set. But that's all we got for you this week, I think. So we'll see you guys next week, and we'll talk more about all the nerd stuff that's happening. Follow us online. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're on Instagram. We're streaming on Twitch right now, so if you're watching this on YouTube or Facebook or somewhere else, go check us out on Twitch, the shop live over there. We're having a lot of fun on there. We just got affiliated, too, which is totally cool. So we're rocking that now. Check us out, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye.
See you.